We're going to be working a mid-skin fade to preserve length and weight above the occipital bone on this client's head shape, and also preserve weight through the temple area coming into the fringe area. You can see the client has quite a difficult growth pattern through the crown area, meaning we need to tread cautiously around this zone. We're now going to start cutting our first zone, which is going to be through the contour of the head, which is the roundness from the side to the top. We're going to be working forward graduation, which is a classic technique, working diagonal sections which are slightly aiming forward, which will help encourage the hair to fall in that direction. We're going to be working a triangular cutting line, working from shorter at the base of the head and longer as we hit further above to the curvature of the head. We're going to be working off the base of the section that we're cutting, also bringing a small bit of the previous section into the new section above. This will allow us to work with a guide moving forward, and continuously work off the base of the head means the shape horizontally should be a nice square flat shape following the shape of the head. Once we've finished the two side panels, we're now going to move on to the back area underneath the crown, where we're going to continue working graduation, but this time round we're going to retain more length around the top of the line, being precautious of the difficult growth pattern. We're also going to be working in more of a natural angle rather than forcing the hair to either go backwards or forwards. We're going to be working naturally with in which way the hair wants to come out of the head in more of a down and flat motion. You can see that I've created a finger depth section all the way down the center of the head. This will be my profile guide. We're also going to start cutting from the front of the line, as this is going to determine the length and shape that we cut the top of the hair to. You can see currently the shape on the top of the head is currently uneven. We're going to execute a strong square shape starting from the front going into the back of the head, as this will allow me to retain length and weight through the fringe area, where I can personalize the fringe with the razor. Once the top has been finished, being cut vertically, and we have our shape in, we're now going to just give the top a little bit of a cross check, where we're going to be pulling up horizontal sections and cross checking the horizontal axes, and we're going to be just point cutting any lumps and bumps away from the shape that look out of place. Now we have our basic shape and length in through the top of the head, everything's looking really nice and coming together. We can now start to personalize the fringe area with a feather razor. Personally, I like to comb all of the hair completely naturally down, so it's sitting in its natural position on the forehead, and just pick up visually bits of hair from the fringe area and start slicing away with the feather razor through the ends. We're now ready to start using the clippers. What we're going to do is put a number 3 guard on the clipper, and we're going to remove as much bulk and weight as possible, and technically start the fade where we're putting in the top guideline of the fade. This is where the graduation is going to sit and lay, so it's really important that we don't go too high and we really have it sitting on the contour of the fade. Once we have our guideline in, we can now start to work the main technique of the fade, where we're going to be working with a number 2 guard on the clipper, and we're going to be working just into where we've been with the number 3, following the same shape of the graduated line and the guideline, not working anything behind the mastoid bone into the back area. Once we're happy with how much we've taken away with the number 1 closed, we can now put the 0.5 transition guard on and go just above the original guideline at the bottom. Once we've finished the fade on side number 1, we can now proceed to shaping it up, where we're going to be using a detailer, working with that nice C motion with both of our hands in control of the clipper, getting that nice curve in and arch around the temple area to increase strength and shape through the face structure. Strengthening up the line around the recession area is always a nice idea to create that strong square box-like effect. Although the clipper blend has been completed, the refinery between the clipper blend and the scissor work on top has not yet been finished. We really want to smooth this transition area out as smooth as possible. The best tool and choice of technique to use for me is scissor over comb, using your classic scissor and the wide teeth of the comb. This will allow you to glide through the graduation, softening the weight line, creating more of a seamless blend from the clipper work to the scissor work. Moving on to texturizing the top area, we're going to be working some deep point cutting, creating some big triangles into the top of the hair. This isn't generally speaking how I would always point cut, but when I'm creating lots of heavy texture, this is a great way to enhance lots of movement and different lengths into the top of the hair, i.e. creating lots of different textures in the top of the hair for this textured look. For the styling, I'm going to be using a really dry hairspray, which is just going to add a little bit of strength and a different type of texture in the hair. Remember, we've already applied some dry matte paste when drying the hair, which has created some moisture and texture and some natural movement. Now what we have is a nice bit of strength and structure with the hairspray to finish off. We can see with the finished result that we have that beautiful square shape from the front profile building up into that soft textured square shape on the top of the head, with that nice forward graduation working through the contour of the head, blending into that beautiful soft skin fade, descending down in length into the side areas. The softness of the fringe really suits this client and gives him that nice personal kind of raw, edgy, salon friendly look. Thanks for watching this tutorial guys, I hope you liked it and I'll see you on the next one.